Hi! So I am selling friendship bracelets to my friends during this time of isolation, and I thought I would take you through the process of making a couple of them with me. So the first one I'm making is an anklet for my friend, and I'm using this pattern, and I'm just gonna make the bracelet. The colors that I'm using, they're the closest I could find in my stash to the colors that were on the pattern. I don't know, I think I might get a darker brown though, because this brown isn't as dark as it looks in the pattern. I might find a different one, but yeah, so now I'm just gonna measure out all the strings and then put them together. So I went back and I actually decided that I'm going to use these colors instead. I just switched these two colors out with the other ones because I just didn't really like the way the other ones looked, and these ones fit more the aesthetic that my friend wanted. So these are the colors that I'm using. I'm going to measure them out and cut them, and then I'm going to start knotting. Oh, I may have accidentally measured too long of string, but it is going around an ankle instead of a wrist, so it does have to be bigger. It's fine if I have extra. There's that. And I also have about 4 more bracelets to measure out. So I'm actually going to do 2 more bracelets in this video as well, so I am just going to get the colors ready for those ones right now. So for the second bracelet that I'm going to be making, this is the pattern that I'm using, and here are the colors. Here are the colors that I'm using. It's like a beachy ocean theme, you know, like the sand and the water. Now I'm gonna measure and tie these ones. Here is the second one, all measured out. You can see the beachy colors. So now I'm going to do the third one. For my third bracelet, this is the pattern I'm going to be using. And these are the colors that I'm using. They're pretty much the identical colors to the reference picture, I guess, because I'm not actually using a pattern, I'm just using the reference picture because chevrons are different than regular patterns. So yeah, these are the colors. Now I'm going to measure them. Here is the bracelet, all ready to go. So now let's start with the process of bracelet number 1. Okay, so it is time to start knotting the bracelets. So I'm going to just start off by, I'll put the pattern kind of at the side, and then I'll just kind of work through it. I'll kind of talk you through what I'm doing at the start, and then I will just keep you updated on what I do after that. So as you can see from the pattern, all the knots in the first row are coming into the center. So of course we'll take the outside 2, and I will just do a forward knot into the center, and then you will take the next 2 and do another one, and then the last one towards the middle. And now I will go from this to this way, doing the exact same thing I did on this side, but coming this way. So you can't really see it, but I have just the first row of knots done. So I'm going to do 2 more rows, and then I'll come back to you and I'll come back and show you again. So I have completed the first 4 rows, I'm pretty sure. I'm on the last row of the pattern. So on the last row of the pattern, we have 4 different knots, and the first 3 go into the center, and the first 3 go into the center from the left, and the last one goes into the center from the right. And usually I do these patterns left to right. I just didn't do it with the first row because I wanted to show you like how I was doing it. I don't know, but I do them left to right. If you want to see like a more in-depth explanation of how to do this, I made another video and I'll link it, and I kind of explain it more, but I'm just taking you with me as I guess there's 5 knots, not 4. Anyway, as I do this. But yeah. Okay, so there is the first thing of the pattern. I just have to keep repeating that over and over again. There is the first one. And I will check in with you at a later date. Hey guys, so this bracelet that I'm making is actually going to be an anklet. I don't remember if I told you guys that, but so it's going to be a bit longer than the other two bracelets that I'm making, but it's a good thing that it is very like wide. If you can see, it's like 12 strings across, and some are only 8, like this one that I'm making for my friend. This one's only 8 across, and so you can see like the thickness difference in the two of them. I don't know why I just put my phone down like that. This one is thick and nice, and it'll be good for it to be an anklet. And right now I just measured, I am about halfway done it, almost halfway done. So I am going to keep going, and I will check in with you when I am pretty close to being done. Here's a closer view. I really like this pattern. I think it's really nice. Hey guys, so I have just measured out, and I think it is long enough. I really like how it's turning out, and I am going to now make the end into a point so that it's easier to tie off, and I will put all the strings into 2 big, like, I don't know what I call them, into 2 separate, like, just gather them together into 2 so that it's easier to like tie off the rest of this. And then I'm just gonna tie it off and it'll be done. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is try and get this in the clipboard up there, and then I'll bring you a bit closer, but it's kind of hard to do that. Alright, so now that we are here, I'm just going to do, So I'm going to just follow the pattern, and except every time I go down a row, I take out the outside 2 strings. So here we go. So the first row is all of them going this way. Okay, and then I take out these outside 2, and then I do the next row. Alright, then we take out the next 2 to do the next row. Alright, then we take out the next 2, and we do the next row. And then we do the next 2. Alright, and now the last row. I've taken out all the other strings except these 2, and we're just going to tie them together. Right, and so now as you can see, the pattern comes to a point here. I think I missed a knot. Whatever, it looks okay. No, I didn't. It looks fine. Oh yeah, there should have been a pink one there. I'm gonna go fix that. Whoa! Alright, I fixed it. I added that pink knot that was missing there. And now it comes down into a nice point. So, now what I'm gonna do is the next step, which is to put them, all these strings into one knot. You know, like there's, so then there's 2 just big strands. So what I'm gonna do to do that is, I think I showed this in my other video, but you just take the second string and tie it over the first string, and then you put them together. Then you take the second last string, you take the third string, and you tie it over the first 2. Then you put them together, take the next one, tie it over those 3, and then you put those together, take the next one, tie it over those 4, and then you take this one. Whoa! There, so now they're all in one strand, as you can see, and then you do the same thing on the other side. There we go. So As you can see, now it's all like in a nice point, ready to be tied off and finished. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take this one and twirl it all up. And then take this one and twirl it up. And then, because they've both been going this way, we're gonna turn them together the other way. The opposite way. Okay, and then at the end here, I'm just gonna tie it into a knot. There we go. I'm just gonna cut off those little bits. Ta-da! Here is the bracelet. There you go. For the second bracelet, it's pretty much the same process as the first bracelet. You do the pattern the same way, and there's just 2 less strings than the other one. I think. Actually, there might be 4 less strings. I'm just gonna take you with me and let's do it. Now, as you can see here, I have laid out all the strings that we're gonna be doing and the pattern. These 2 knots come in and these 2 knots come in, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna knot this one, this one, and the same thing, and now this one, and then the last one. Okay, I will check in with you in about like 4 rows and then we'll talk again. So I just did the first like 6 rows, I think. So now we're gonna do the 7th row. And as you can see on the pattern, there's 2 going this way and 2 going this way. 2 going this way. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, so that is the first couple of rows with this bracelet, and I will keep you updated and check in with you later. Hey guys, so I have just measured this bracelet that I'm working on right now, and it is just about halfway done. So this is what it looks like so far. You've seen the pictures that I've been putting in, but some of them aren't the best quality pictures. There we go. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. With these thinner bracelets, it's a little bit harder to make the knots like all tight and all like even, but I think it's actually like going pretty well. They all look like where they're supposed to, I guess. They all look pretty good. Anyway, I'm just going to continue updating you with little pictures every time I do a bit, and then I'll check back in with you when we're close to the end. So I am almost finished this bracelet. It's as long as I want it to be. Now I just have to finish it off and tie it off and everything. So as you can see, I'm taking out these knots because I have already done their last knots, and now I'm just gonna do the last ones. And then I'm gonna put these 2 colors there on the outside, and then take these last 2 middle ones and tie them together. And now I'm gonna do the thing where I make it a nice clean point, and these 2 sides are like better for tying it off. Anyway, so alright, so now as you can see, we have all of our strings into 2 separate little pieces. So now I am just going to do the twisty There we go. So I've twisted it, as you can see, very long. It does not need to be that long, but I'm just going to take it out, and because this person that I'm making it for has about the same wrist size as me, I'm just going to measure it on my wrist. Okay, so if I was to tie it like that, I would want maybe like this much extra. Yeah, that seems good. So now we're gonna kind of untwist it to there. You always want to have just enough, just to be safe. And now we're gonna tie it in a big knot. there we go. And now this bracelet is finished. I just have to cut off the excess like that. Ta-da! The third bracelet that I'm going to be doing with you guys is a little bit different than the other two. I'm not following a pattern because it's not like a very unique, I guess, design. It's just like a chevron is what they call it, which you'll see. It's like an arrow, I guess, like a downward arrow. And so I'll explain it as I go along. So it might look like I've already started, but all I've done right now is just made it so that the bracelet doesn't like squish itself. I just did like a little starting so that now I can actually start going down the bracelet, because as you can see it's like an arrow at the top right now, and so I did that so that the bracelet wouldn't like fold over itself. Wait, it wouldn't fold over like this because we don't want that. Like it'll stay flat when you wear it and when you put it like this. So what makes this bracelet different is that I'm working in it, you work at it in halves instead of just left to right. You cut it like this, and so you'll do this one strand will come all the way down, and then this one strand will come all the way down, right? So then you're working in halves, and then you tie them together in the middle like this here, and then you do it again with the next string. And so I'll just do a little demonstration. So that's what I'm just going to keep doing for this bracelet with every single color all the way down, and I will check in with you later. So it's been maybe a week since I started this bracelet, and I'm over halfway done it. And I just have to do like from my fingers to like my thumb, like this much more of it, I guess. And then I'm gonna like tie it off and finish it off, and I'll like kind of. Okay, here's the deal. So I hate myself. I just like was in the zone doing this bracelet and just like forgot that I was gonna check back in with you guys. So I finished it. No pictures, no whatever. But the other two bracelets I have shown you. So, you know. But yeah. So it's done. I haven't cut this part off yet because I like just finished it, and then I remembered that I was supposed to film some of it, so, you know. But there's the finished bracelet. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So yeah, there it is. Well, I did tie it with this part still like twisted, but I think I'm gonna untie it and then untwist it and then tie it again. So now it's untied. There we go. I like that knot a lot better. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut this little piece off, and then it's done.